Hello everybody, this is ChickenBonus and welcome to my playthrough. Today I am going to play Dear Esther. It's basically a remake of the same game, came out 4 years ago, just with enhanced graphics. The thing with this game is that it is more like a movie than a normal game. It's kinda a new genre that creator used, and the thing is that instead of creating some generic shoot to kill, an RPG or any kind of these games, he made this beautiful environment combined with the story, and it just makes you feel like you're in a movie. And that's it kinda. It's like a horror game that you walk, you see things, you don't shoot at people, you don't do quests, just find out the storyline and see some cool and awesome terrain. And I will start now, and I will speak only when the narrator will be quiet, so you could hear the story and so I could hear it also. And yes.
Dear Esther, I've lost track of how long I've been here, and how many visits I have made overall. Certainly the landmarks are now so familiar to me that I have to remind myself to actually see the forms and shapes in front of me. I could stumble blind across these rocks, the edges of these precipices, without fear of missing my step and plummeting down to sea. Besides, I've always considered that if one is to fall, it is critical to keep one's eyes firmly open.
That's some weird house. Whoa, have you seen that? There's someone in there. Maybe it's some person or an animal. Chemistry. Got no idea what that means, but that probably means something. Let's continue. Oh, the fuck. That was scary. There's another cabin in here. A window. Paint. Boiler. Paint. How did I get on this island anyway? Maybe it's my boat there. And why did he get to this island? Barbed wire. Okay, now I'm just being stupid. Just walking. Careful. Let's go.
Donnelly reported the legend of the hermit, a holy man who sought solitude in its most pure form. Allegedly, he rode here from the mainland in a boat without a bottom, so all the creatures of the sea could rise at night to converse with him. How disappointed he must have been with their chatter. Perhaps now, when all that haunts the ocean is the rubbish dumped from the tankers, he'd find more peace. They say he threw his arms wide in a valley on the south side, and the cliff opened up to provide him shelter. They say he died of fever 116 years later. The shepherds left gifts for him at the mouth of the cave, but Donnelly records they never claimed to have seen him. I have visited the cave and I have left my gifts, but like them, I appear to be an unworthy subject of his solitude.
Maybe that's the cave they're talking about. Bet I can't get over this rock. Moss. Here is moss. Here, have you seen this? I haven't spoke because the narrator was talking, but there's some kind of weird painting on the wall, and here is the paint tin can that used to paint it. What's that beacon over there? Ah no, and here you have to fall. You cannot stand there. I played this a couple of times. I tried to do playthroughs, and every time I had some problem with the camera or with the recording program. Every time it was something different. And now it's like my 10th time, but I never actually finished this. I just always get to the middle, and then I got stuck and realized it went really bad and I need to restart.
Those islands in the distance, I am sure, are nothing more than relics of another time, sleeping giants, somnambulist gods laid down for a final dreaming. I wash the sand from my lips and grip my wrist ever more tightly. My shaking arms will not support my fading diaries.
This game is really quiet. As long as the narrator won't speak, this game is really quiet. And here is the barbed wire.
Donnelly's book had not been taken out from the library since 1974. I decided it would never be missed as I slipped it under my coat and avoided the librarian's gaze on the way out. If the subject matter is obscure, the writer's literary style is even more so. It is not the text of a stable or trustworthy reporter. Perhaps it is fitting that my only companion in these last days should be a stolen book written by a dying man.
Oh, come on. I think this game just tells you random phrases and you're supposed to come up with something. Or is it just me?
When someone had died or was dying, or was so ill they gave up what little hope they could sacrifice, they cut parallel lines into the cliff, exposing the white chalk beneath. You could see them from the mainland or the fishing boat, and know to send aid or impose a cordon of protection, and wait a generation until whatever pestilence stalked the cliff paths died along with its hosts. My lines are just for this, to keep any would-be rescuers at bay. The infection is not simply of the flesh.
I think this is what they talked about, but I still don't get the story. You need to be a hell of a smart guy to understand what they are talking about. Clearly, I'm not that guy. Ooh, monolith. Freaky.
We are not like Lot's wife, you and I. We feel no particular need to turn back. There's nothing to be seen if we did. No tired old man parting the cliffs with his arms. No gifts or Bibles laid out on the sand for the taking. No tides turning or shrieking gulls overhead. The bones of the hermit are no longer laid out for the taking. I have stolen them away to the guts of this island, where the passages all run to black, and where we can light each other's faces by their strange luminescence.
I don't know why, but I have this feeling like every second something is going to jump over me and scare the shit out of me. I don't know why, I just got this feeling. A shipwreck.
Dear Esther, I met Paul. I made my own little pilgrimage. My Damascus, a small semi-detached on the outskirts of Wolverhampton. We drank coffee in his kitchen and tried to connect to one another. Although he knew I hadn't come in search of an apology, reason or retribution, he still spiraled in panic, thrown high and lucid by his own dented bonnet. Responsibility had made him old. Like us, he'd already passed beyond any conceivable boundary of life. I find myself increasingly unable to find that point where the hermit ends and Paul and I begin. We are woven into a sodden blanket, stuffed into the bottom of a boat to stop the leak and hold back the ocean. My neck aches from staring up at the aerial. It mirrors the dull throb in my gut where I am sure I've begun to form another stone. In my dreams, it forms into a perfect representation of Lot's wife, head over her shoulder, staring along the motorway at the approaching traffic in a vacuum of fatalistic calm.
Hey, I remember him talking about food offering to some monk. Maybe that's it. And again, someone's been painting pictures on the wall. And that's it for this time. I'm going to stop now.